Why are we living here? Have we asked ourselves this question? Why are we living in the United States? We're living here to shift this country's political direction and spiritual direction together. Engaging in dawah, and dawah is essential.
Let us bring about a revolution. If every one of us, brothers and sisters, we are in this audience over 10,000. If every one of us made it our goal that I'm going to change the minds of 10 people, I'm going to change the minds of 10 of my colleagues, 10 of my friends, 10 of the people I associate with in the next year. That would automatically mean 100,000 people are now seeing the world from a different perspective. If all the Muslims of America did the same thing, what would happen? We would literally bring about a political and cultural revolution. This is our job in this country.
What differentiates Islam from them? What makes you unique as a character now? Islam came to be disruptive. It came to tell you your society was wrong. These things, they're wrong.
Absolutely.
We have solutions. If you want to bend to their solution, then what makes you unique? Why do you have Islam? The objective is that your religion is your house. Stay in your house, do it. But in the public, you have to do what we all conform to. And that's not good for a Muslim. It doesn't work with us. And that's the problem. If it feels right, it is right. If it feels wrong, it's wrong.
If you have the tendency,
and we can't live that way because this is changing. There's no system. There's no balance and structure this way. And as you mentioned, Islam is the way of life. Sharia gives us a boundary for everything, a way for everything.
They want to promote one way of life, but then by that logic, then everything else should be okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But it's inconsistent. Again, Islam is consistent. It's clear. We have to be grounded in it. And I think when it comes to politics, yes, we should be politically engaged, but we have to be strategic. And we don't use Islam to justify our political engagement. What we do is we do our political engagement in a way that is consistent with Islam. So I think whether it's to the left or the right, we remain independent. We can strategically use one and the other, and we don't have to compromise.
Coming up against Donald Trump and the damage he could potentially do to America and beyond. I think that dawah, that ability to shake society, that ability to shift public opinion.
Be active politically. In America, you have more power than any other Muslim community around the world. Learn how to use your privilege that Allah gave you to influence politics and policies in America. Allahumma ansurhum ala a'daik. Allahumma ansurhum ala a'daik.
You have to be present in the school board meetings. You have to be present at the city hall meetings. Not everybody can do it, but we have to start, just like Allah says in Surah At-Tawbah, about how not all of you should go out in, fighting in the way of Allah, that some should stay back and study the deen, that there's room for differentiation, that we need to start having our community set up where there's a fard kifaya of a certain amount of people that are in these meetings, representing our interests, reporting back, letting us know when threats are coming down the pipeline, when somebody wants to set up a casino in Irving, Texas, next to the masjid. There are no permanent alliances. Even in fiqh, there's no permanent alliances. There's hudna, right? There are ceasefires there. It has to come back to your principles and to your strategy.
Yeah.
And it's not strategic to be married to one particular party or the other. And so the right in the United States is contaminated with a lot of things that Islam is fundamentally against. It's contaminated with racism. It's contaminated with white supremacy. It's contaminated with a capitalistic mythology that we don't entirely subscribe to very much at all. And a nativism, that is against our ethos. And we could go down, there's an anti-immigrant sentiment and lots of things that we could talk about. But more important than that, maybe even like primary before all of those considerations, is that I reject the idea that we have to hitch our wagon to one or the other in the first place. I don't think that's smart politics.
Right.
When it comes to how we are engaging, we're not looking for the people who are most similar to us in order to ride on their coattails to get what we want. We're actually just treating things on a case-by-case basis. What are the opportunities of the moment? Right now, for example, the First Amendment is undergoing a reinterpretation in the U.S. legal system. The First Amendment has a couple clauses to it. One of the clauses is called the Establishment Clause, which is that there is not going to be an established church. Okay, so it limits the government support for any religion, okay, in a structural way. There's also the Free Practice Clause, which is that everybody has the right to practice their religion fully without state interference.
Yeah.
And there are points at which these two clauses come into tension. And historically, up until recently, the Establishment Clause has had priority over the Free Exercise Clause.
Yeah.
That you could not say that, well, this is the free exercise of my religion. If it violated the Establishment Clause, it doesn't matter if it's part of your free exercise. It has to bow to secularism.
Yes.
We're starting to see a shift. We're starting to see a shift towards the Free Exercise Clause. Someone could say, oh my gosh, but this is the far right. This is the Christian nationalists. This is whatever. They're not our friends. They're not our enemies. They don't like Islam. All of that might be true, but they might be opening a door that creates a very important opportunity for us. Now, we need Muslims on Candace Owens. We need a decent Muslim to go on Candace Owens' show or Tucker Carlson's show and represent Islam. A whole host of issues that we disagree with. If we go in these things with the expectation that, you know, this is the Khalifa and he's going to represent Islamic values and, you know, establish as much of Islam as he can, no. I mean, no one will pass that litmus test. But you have to realize that what you're taking away, the threat that you're taking away by preventing someone like Cuomo, preventing someone like Adams, is worth the other things that might come with his mayorship that we might disagree with. Opportunities will be created and that certain threats will be neutralized and off the table. In a situation in which the threat of criminalizing the Muslim community and spying on the Muslim community, actually writing a paper that I'm going to present at the American Muslim Jurists Association in August, framing political engagement and social activism within Sharia frameworks and discourse. And one of the things that came about is realizing, studying the Constitution and studying the way that the political system is set up in the United States. The Constitution is plastic, okay? The Constitution was meant to be reinterpreted constantly.
And we have to build communities and relate to other communities in partnership in order for us to manifest خيركم خيركم للناس.